Hey, good evening. Yeah, it's working. It's June 16th, 2017, and I've been watching at work tonight as well. I just got in watching they've been showing the whole Celtics Lakers showing the story behind the story back in the 80s. And my God, does it bring back memories for me? Nothing in this lifetime will ever top that stuff for me anyway. I mean, I know this generation got the Tom Brady and all that crap, but I mean, there was nothing like Celtics Lakers, nothing. And I think a lot of it had to do with being young. And that would be the first real experience of a real genuine rivalry and teams actually hating each other, Celtics what did I say? The Celtics. I got a message on my phone. Celtics and Lakers and the Sixers with Dr. J and all that stuff. But for me personally, it actually was a great thing because it got me the fuck out of Roslindale. It got me out of this. For me, it was a hellhole. Just that's just the way it was. And at the time, I got the job at the Garden. I think I was 16, 17, probably just turned, probably still 16. I don't know. I forget. I have to do the math. But anyway, I was there. I was working up a Star Market, bagging groceries, doing deli, a couple of days a week. I was making about $4 an hour or whatever, and around these people that I couldn't stand. And one day, just out of the blue, it might have been, I forget the whole deal behind it, but I know I'd come home and watch the Celtics with Bird and the Bruins. And I said, geez, it'd be great to work down there. So I think back then you just go and fill out an application, which is what I did. I went down to 150 Causeway Street, went upstairs to asked somebody how to get to the employment office. And I think I was working like 2 or 3 days later. I mean, now you couldn't do that. But I worked there, and I worked all through that Bird era and the Cam Neely era. And saw a lot of it, worked pretty hard, but mostly saw all the bands I loved and the teams I loved. And it was definitely, even though the money was great, just having that freedom of just getting out of this town, even though it was only 10 miles away. It was definitely a game changer for me, and good ways and some bad ways. But yeah, I wouldn't trade those 6 or 7 years for anything, because I don't think I'd really be around now. I really don't. I think I just, before I got that job, I was just really in a bad place. And even though I went to bad places after that, it was just, it was just great. But that's just on my end, and having that freedom of just being able to find myself, I guess you could say, and just do my own thing. And 16,000 people every night, and just getting to be myself and figure out who I was and all that bullshit. But yeah, and it's probably like my version of going off to college. I don't know. But yeah, those were great years and great memories. And watching this whole trilogy with Bird and Magic, and and all that stuff, and Jack Nicholson and Jack Dancing Barry and all that shit. And I think it's great, man, because I would go in before I had to scheduled to work. I go in, an hour early to watch Bird shoot around. And I mean, I always have those memories of just watching him swish jumper after jumper after jumper, and watching U2 do their sound checks, and having all, and being backstage, even for like Bobby Brown and his like 5,000 hangers on, and all these other stories I have that I have to take to the grave. But they're just great memories, and I wouldn't have any of that shit if I'd stayed up at Star Market. Who knows? Who knows what? You just don't know what path. If he took the other fork in the road, what might have happened? Maybe I'd be president of the United States. Who the fuck knows? But I seriously doubt it. So Yeah, yeah, just a lot of fun stuff there, and the irony now that I work, within a block and a half of the place, and every night I go by and I look at the neighborhood and all the places I used to hang out at, and a lot of the places aren't, most of them aren't there anymore, but a few of them are, and yeah, it's just come full circle, and I go by there and I think back to the first time I come down Causeway Street. I was like, God, I hope they hire me. I hope they hire me. And then lo and behold, they did. And, you know, um, and yeah, and everybody talks about their neighborhood and how great Rosie, West Roxbury was. Fuck that, it sucked. So for me, the Garden was a game changer, and I'm so happy. And I got out of all this, what I call Rosie, West Roxbury, Clicksville, and got to be my own guy. So and I'm happy about that. So I don't have to be a sheep and be like, oh, my hometown, my hometown. Fucking, I live here, but that's about it. Anyway, that's it, and that's my memories, and I'm sure I get about 10 hits. But I thought this should be part of my life story, and that goes on YouTube, all the good and the bad. So that's another chapter. All right, I'm done. Adios. Go Celts.